Good morning. Thank you so much for coming back for another yoga session. We're inside this time. It started raining. So, again, get yourself comfortable. And if you want to use blocks, a blanket, anything, feel free to take this time to grab it now. But we're going to start in seated position again and tend to the next. Don't mind the little distractions that may happen. She likes to do yoga with me. So come to that comfortable seat. However you decide to cross your legs, doesn't really matter. Just land comfortably. And again, maybe move some of the flesh out of the way so you really can feel that connection of the sits bones to the earth, beginning to settle in, feeling the hips get heavy, letting them ground. Maybe then soften the gaze or close the eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. And then just naturally maybe do a little sway from side to side, front and back to find that place where the spine naturally stacks with ease. Hands coming any place that feel good to you, whether they rest on your knees, palms face up, maybe a mudra, whatever feels good for you. Shoulders sliding down the back, sinking and settling and giving yourself time to arrive. Giving yourself this time to be here, be present. These minutes we have together, making each one count for yourself, your self-care. Noticing the breath. Feeling the expansion of the belly and how it collapses. And then maybe drawing your attention to the outside edges of the nostrils, feeling that space where the breath first touches the skin. Noticing the breath coming in through the nostrils. And then finding that place in the back of the throat where that breath is first warmed by the body. Staying there, observing that spot. And that warm breath travels through the body, feeding the organs, feeding your soul. And following the beautiful exhale. So taking a couple more rounds, noticing again, starting off with the breath first touching the nostrils, coming in, warmed in the back of the throat and traveling all through the body. Take 3 more rounds. Notice if the body begins to settle in now and finding more ease. Last beautiful inhale. And exhale. You can keep your eyes closed and just listen. We're going to repeat the neck exercises we started on Tuesday. So on an inhale, feeling the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, lowering the left ear towards the left shoulder. Oh, noticing how that feels this morning. And when we make observations in our body, making sure to just notice and not apply labels, good, bad, old, young. Just simply noticing this is the body we arrived in. It's different than the one we had Tuesday. It'll be different than one we have next week. And loving it, not waiting for it to be any different in any shape, but simply appreciating it that we got up this morning. And keeping that right shoulder down to create the space, maybe even walking the right fingertips out a little bit. And then maybe even this time, those right fingertips might come up to where your hand is parallel with your shoulder. Notice if that feels any different, maybe turning the thumb down, turning the thumb up, rotating that. And again, if you're craving a little bit more, gently taking the left hand, placing it by the ear, maybe lowering the right hand down to the ground to feel that extension, that stretch in the neck. Again, making sure that that right shoulder stays down and that that left hand is not pulling or tugging, simply landing. Actively keeping that right shoulder down. Take another breath in. On your exhale, keeping your ear towards your shoulder, but your hands come to a comfortable place to land and take a beautiful exhale. One more inhale, keeping your ear where it is. On your exhale, rotating the nose down towards the thighs. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, nose towards the thigh. One more time. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Keeping the spine long. Exhale, nose towards the thigh. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, head up straight. Take another beautiful breath in. Find that length. Remembering to keep the spine long. Crown of the head reaches. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Noticing if this side feels different than the other. Being maybe you add a little bit more. Maybe you stay right here. Again, noticing if you walk those left fingertips out, helping keeping that elongation. Keeping the spine tall. If you liked the rotation on the other side, again, maybe you raise your arm, rotate it, noticing how the shoulder and the neck are connected. Or adding in that left hand, or right hand, excuse me, placing it on the head by the ear. Staying and breathing through this, not tugging, not forcing. Take another breath in. On your exhale, leaving your ear where it is, hands come to the knees. One more breath in. Exhale, rotating on this side, nose towards the thigh. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, nose to thigh. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, nose to thigh. One more time, ear to shoulder. Nose to thigh, feeling that rotation, keeping the spine long. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, head straight on. And then one more time. Inhale, the crown of the head reaches. Exhale, chin to chest, rolling those shoulder blades down and back, keeping that elongation in the back of the neck, actively keeping the shoulder blades back, feeling that nice stretch. The spine stays long. Sometimes we want to roll forward to make sure the spine stays long, shoulder blades back. And again, if you want to interlace the fingers, lightly place them on the back of the head. Notice if you want the elbows down to the ground versus out. That's deciding on what feels good for you in your space today. Always empowering you to make choices that feel good for you in your body, the way that you arrived. Take another breath in. And exhale, keeping the chin towards the chest, hands come down comfortably to the thighs. Then we're going to start those circles. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, chin towards the chest. Inhale, ear to shoulder, maybe tilt back ever so slightly. Exhale, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, tilt back, maybe go all the way back. Again, being mindful of the neck rotating. So take these circles over and on your side, see what feels good. Maybe you find a place you want to stay and hang. You find a little nugget of tension you want to stay and release and breathe through. But move with your breath. Taking 3 more breaths of anything that feels good for you, movement or stillness. You've got this. 1 more. Then arriving with the crown of the head upright. Take a big breath in, fingertips reaching up to the ceiling. And on your exhale, you're going to drop your left hand to the earth, bend the elbow, reach the right hand over, keeping that right hip grounded to the earth. Fingertips reaching, opening up through this rib cage, creating this expansion, feeling each rib cage moving, expanding on the breath. Inhale, reach, 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 feeling that opening. Exhale, come to center. Inhale, fingertips reaching up again, creating space in the rib cage. Exhale, right hand lands, left hand reaches over. Left hip grounding, feeling the opening in the side body. Inhale, feel that reach, like you're reaching for something delicious. Hip stays grounded. 1 more beautiful inhale. Exhale, back up to center. And then inhale, folding forward. Hands come to the earth, maybe forearms, whatever fits in your body. Take it. There's no shame. It's all perfect how it lands. But feeling that nice stretch in the low back, in the hips. And then letting each exhale helping you sink in a little bit deeper. Maybe you walk the fingertips out ever so slightly more. In these slow positions, in these stillness, that sometimes when our mind starts wandering, the chatter begins to enter. So can you notice when that happens? Acknowledge it and then just let it float on by and return back to your body with your breath. Take another breath in. Another breath out. Sink in ever so slightly more. Another breath in. Final exhale. Inhale, slowly rolling all the way up. And then switching your legs. So go the weird way for your body. Opposite leg in front. Inhale, fingertips reaching up for the sky, creating expansion. Exhale, folding forward. Again, maybe palms land, forearms, whatever, to where you can just feel the stretch. That's the goal. The goal is what you feel and where you feel it. It's not making this perfect alignment. At least that's not my jam. My jam is to feel it in your body. Take a breath in and a breath out. Sinking in even deeper, maybe noticing if you feel it in the opposite hip. How does that feel? Noticing if now that you're in this stillness, if the mind is wandering, if that chatty voice is coming back to the shoulder telling you things that you not necessarily may want to hear. Can you let all that go and simply be here now? Take 1 more breath in. Sink in even deeper, ever so slightly more. Inhale, walking yourself back up. And then we're going to come onto all fours into our tabletop. So take your time to arrive. Maybe you roll forward to do that. So your shoulders are over your wrists, hips over the knees, coming into that tabletop, feeling that energetic flow from the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone, as if you have an arrow going all the way through you, keeping this active belly button pulled and away from the shirt that you're wearing. On an inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, curve the spine, press away from the mat. Inhale, drop the belly, feeling the belly sinking down, exaggerating it. Exhale, curving the spine, feeling the opening in the shoulder blades. And then take this over in your own cat-cow. What feels good for you and your body? Maybe it feels different than you need something different than you needed on Tuesday. Maybe now that we stretch the hips, you rock from side to side. This is your time to warm up that spine. No shame. Close your eyes. Just completely tuning into what your body needs, making it funky, making it yours. This is you in whatever space you're in, moving how your body wants you to move. Take 2 more breaths. And then meet back in tabletop. Then we're going to do a little bit of shoulder work. So where our hands are, we're going to walk them out just a little bit further towards the front of the mat, and then lower your elbows down. So you have like these railroad track arms, and leaving the hips up how high they are. You're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to melt your heart down, forehead towards the earth, feeling a stretch in the arms. If that's not quite it, feel free to walk your elbows out a little bit more. But don't sink the hips back. Keep the hips engaged and upright. Stretching through the shoulders, the triceps. Coming into your puppy pose. Sinking in, feeling the forehead touch the earth, maybe even move the head side to side, massaging that third eye, feeling the stretch in the shoulders. Stay for a breath in and a breath out. One more inhale. Big exhale. Inhale, rolling back up. Arms back underneath your shoulders. And then on an inhale, you're going to take your left hand, open it up towards the ceiling, feeling the shoulder blades squeeze together. And then on an exhale, will come towards you. On an exhale, this left hand is going to come behind that right wrist, and you're going to lower that shoulder down to the earth. Maybe walk your right fingertips out a little bit more, but keeping the hips lifted towards the ceiling, feeling a stretch in the back of the shoulder. Being mindful to what feels good in your body. If this is not your jam, by all means, feeling free to lower that left arm down to provide some support. Be kind to your body today. Take another breath in. Another breath out. If you crave a little bit more, maybe take the right toes to the back of the mat. Extend the leg long. Maybe if you crave even more, you lift the heel up. Again, whatever feels good for you and your body, do you. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Planting that right hand, pressing up, bringing that left arm through, stretching, opening back up again. Yes. Then planting the hand down. Now the opposite side, reaching the right arm up, stretching, noticing if this side feels any different, if you need a little more, a little less. Weaving that right arm behind the left wrist, right shoulder lands, left fingertips reach out maybe. Staying here, feeling that opening through the shoulder blades. Again, if you're craving more, maybe you extend the left leg long. Maybe you lift the toes up, whatever feels good for your body. If you fall out, no big deal. Can you come back in without judgment? Just a little giggle, whatever you need. Make it lighthearted. It's called a practice for a reason, because heaven knows falling over is part of it. Stay one more, but you don't know until you try. Exhale. All right, awesome. Planting the left palm down, lifting up through, reaching the fingertips back, opening up through the shoulder. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Planting the palm, hands on the ground, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back into your first down dog. Holy moly. Pedaling that out. Going for the sensation of the heels reaching to the earth. They do not have to touch. Mine don't touch, but it's still called down dog. So see what feels good for your body. What do you need? Pedal out. And then find that place to land. Heels reaching, hands pressing away. Thinking about pressing that pointer finger and that thumb, that space in between, really into the earth. Rotating the creases from the elbows forward. Take a breath in. As you exhale, melt the heart down towards your thighs. Another breath in and out. If you can do anything in yoga, do a down dog. It really engages pretty much every part of your body. One more breath in and exhale. Inhale. Come up onto the tiptoes, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, feet come to hands however they arrive is beautiful. And again, like we did on Tuesday, I like to move the flesh out of the way, rotating the inner thighs away from each other and folding forward into your ragdoll. Generous bend in the knees. Maybe grab opposite elbows and sway. I tell the kids to be like seaweed. Let it be fluid. Feeling the ocean rush over you, letting it all go. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, slowly rolling all the way up to standing. Rolling the shoulders back. Feeling the feet grounded, maybe even closing the eyes. Feeling your strength and your power in this pose. Palms facing forward. Feeling the kneecaps lift up. Heart is lifted. Back body, shoulder blades sinking down. Feet are rooted. You are powerful. Stay for another breath in. Feel your strength. And out. Inhale, bend the knees, fingertips reaching up to the ceiling, taking a huge breath in. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your toes back, coming into your first plank. Stay here. Feeling yourself push away from the earth, shoulder blades puff up, belly button, hold it away from the shirt that you're wearing. You've got this. Stay. Stay for another breath in. And another breath out. You've got this. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. Keep that fire burning. One more inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Pulling your elbows in to your sides, untucking your toes to the shoelace side of feet. Find the earth. Inhale, lift the chin and the chest, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the chin and the chest. Shoelace side of feet, press into the earth. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale, lift the chin and the chest, but the hands come with you. Shoelace side of feet, press, stay here, strengthen that low back. Stay for an inhale. Stay for an exhale. You got this. Another breath in, maybe a little bit higher. Stay for the exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Tuck your toes, light up your quads so your knees pop up off of the earth. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale, down dog. Pedal it out. One more breath in. And sink on the exhale. Inhale, raising your right heel towards the ceiling. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Inhale, straighten the leg behind you. Exhale, step that right foot in between your hands. However it arrives is fine. Help it out. We have to help each other out. Staying high on those back toes. Inhale, rise up, reach up, crescent lunge. Stay for breath in and a breath out. Pulling that front hip back in space as that back hip comes forward. Deepening this. Take another breath in. On an exhale, you're rotating, opening up to this T, feeling this twist on the inside. The pelvis is sinking in, so you are rooted and grounded. Stay for another breath in. Another breath out. Inhale, fingertips reaching up to the ceiling. Exhale, plant the palm, step the foot back. Go for your flow. What feels good for you, whether you up dog, chaturanga, whether you cobra, whether you just meet in down dog is totally fine. Inhale, lift the left heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, step the left, opening up the hip, bend the knee, open up that hip. Inhale, extend the leg long behind you. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Staying high on those right toes. Inhale, lift up. Keep that left hip back in space as the right hip comes forward. Sink in, feeling the pelvis grounded to the earth. Fingertips reaching. Take a breath in. A breath out. One more inhale, fingertips reach. Exhale, opening up to the opposite direction. Right fingertips reaching forward. Left fingertips reaching back. Stay for your breath in. And your breath out. You got this. Reach open through this twist. Inhale, fingertips reach up. Exhale, hands straighten the front foot. Front foot steps back. Go through your flow. Take a breath in here at down dog. Meet us here. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, feet come to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bend the knees, send the hips back and down into your chair. Feeling the knees over the ankles. Looking down, making sure you can see your toes. Maybe even pick the toes up. Knowing the heels are there to support you. And then on an inhale, lifting the heels, coming up onto the toes. Stay for your breath in. Maybe sink in a little bit lower. If you're wobbling, you're building strength. It's okay. Stay with it. Keeping the heels lifted. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, drop the heels, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms find the earth, toe step back, go for a flow. Meeting in your down dog. Inhale, raise the right heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. This time, lower the left knee down. And then sink the hips back. Straighten through that right leg. Coming into this runner's lunge. And be careful to keep the intensity in the hips. Don't sit down in this. That loses the integrity. So keep the hips reaching back as you straighten through that right leg. Toes towards the face. Maybe you fold over. Maybe you stay upright. Maybe use blocks. Whatever feels good for you, take it. Being mindful of the back of that hamstring, the calf. Another breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, rolling onto the foot of that, or the bottom of that right foot. Planting the left hand to the ground. Opening up through the fingertips, coming into another twist. Stay for a breath in. And a breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the palms. Tuck the toes. Lift the left knee up off the ground. Come into that crescent lunge one more time. Take a breath in. As you exhale, fingertips interlace behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Look up. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Hands down. Frame the front foot. Step back. Go for your flow. Coming onto the left side. Lift the left leg. Step it in between the hands. Lower the right knee down to the earth. When you feel grounded and rooted, send the hips back, straightening through that left leg. Runner's lunge on this side. Notice if it feels different. Do you need a little more, a little less? Toes towards the face. Sinking in on your exhale, finding release of any tension. Another breath in. And breath out. Inhale, roll onto the foot. Tuck the toes of the right foot. Right palm plants. Left fingertips reach. Twist. Hands frame the front foot. Lifting that knee up off the ground. Inhale, rise up, reach up, crescent lunge. Left hip back in space, right hip forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. Squeeze the shoulders, look up. One more breath in. And out. Inhale, fingertips reach. Exhale, frame the front foot. Front foot steps back to meet the back. Go for your final flow, whatever feels good for your body. Meeting a down dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Knees come to the earth. Send your hips back and down into your child's pose. Forehead on the ground. Arms extended out long, reaching to the top of the mat. If you've lost your breath, reconnect to it. Reconnect to your practice, your body, this time you have. Feel the hips sinking in. Another breath in and out. Inhale, slowly rising up, coming into a seated posture. Soles of the feet come together. And how much you want this stretch, how deep you feel it, how shallow it needs to be, totally up to you. If you don't want something that intense, the bigger you create this diamond shape, the less intense it'll be. So you can walk your feet out a little bit more, bring the soles of the feet in towards the pelvis, whatever feels good for you. Feeling the knees reaching down to the ground. Sitting tall, lifting the heart up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe your forearms come to the ground, the head on the feet. Maybe you are like me, and this is it for you, but it doesn't lessen what I feel or where I feel it. It might not look like everybody else's body, which is wonderful. So allowing what it's supposed to look like go out the door and really tune into your personal practice, your personal body, and honor it and making yoga fit it. Stay for a breath in. On your exhale, sink in a little bit more, feeling that stretch on the inner thighs. Really keeping this active by feeling the knees reaching down, sinking into the ground. Another breath in. One deep exhale, sink in a little bit more. Inhale, slowly rolling all the way up. Extending the right leg long, so the left foot on the inner thigh. Inhale, reach up, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinging at the hips, bending, folding forward, allowing the hands to land where they may. Maybe it's the shin, the ankles, the toes, whatever feels good for you today. Take it. Forehead reaching down towards the knee. Giving the backs of our legs another yummy stretch. Take a breath in and sink in on the exhale. Soften, release. Inhale, coming back up, switching legs. Sole of the right foot, the inner thigh of the left leg. Inhale, fingertips reaching up. Exhale, folding. Noticing if you are clenching through your jaw without even realizing it. Can you remove the tongue away from the roof of the mouth? Soften in the face. Allow gentleness to begin to enter the body. Softness. Letting the tension leave. Stay for an inhale. Deepen on an exhale. Inhale, slowly rolling all the way up. Soles of the feet find the earth, knees pointing up to the ceiling, hands come behind you, lifting the heart, a little tiny back bend, just a little rock of the knees side to side. Take whatever rebound movement feels good for you these last 2 breaths. And then hands coming onto your shins, rolling back onto your back. Knees in towards the heart. Little rock from side to side, massage that low back. Arms coming out to a T. Take a breath in. Exhale, slowly drop the knees towards the right side. Maybe look over that left shoulder. Feeling the shoulder blades starting to melt into the earth, finding their place. Inhale, nose coming back to center first, followed by the knees. Exhale, slowly dropping the knees towards the opposite side, looking over that shoulder. Finding some softness in the body. All the yummy work you did is really soaking in, letting it just melt in. Inhale, nose comes back to center, followed by the knees, hands on the shins. Pull yourself into a super tight ball. Squeeze in so tight, wrinkle the toes, the nose, crinkle really tight. Take a breath in, tighter, 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 tighter. Exhale, releasing to your version of Shavasana. Maybe you have a pillow to put underneath your knees. Maybe butterfly is calling you. Whatever feels good, find that place for you to be able to take this most important part of yoga, your Shavasana. And then begin to feel the softness throughout the body. The ease settling in. Feeling the whole body begin to become heavy. To sink into the earth, knowing your mat has your back. You can let go. Taking one more big breath in, biggest breath you've taken. And a big exhale, sigh it out, let it go. I'll read you a prayer from Faithful Gardener. My teacher read it, Daniel Delsky read it to me last week, and it's just set with me by Dr. Estes. It's called The Prayer from the Faithful Gardener. Refuse to fall down. If you cannot refuse to fall down, refuse to stay down. If you cannot refuse to stay down, lift your heart toward heaven and like a hungry beggar, ask that it be filled. You may be pushed down. You may be kept from rising, but no one can keep you from lifting your heart toward heaven. Only you. It is in the middle of misery that so much becomes clear. The one who says nothing good came of this is not yet listening. Begin to bring movement into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Allowing the movement to get bigger and bigger, maybe in the elbows, the wrists, the knees. Eventually reaching the fingertips up overhead, toes extended long into a beautiful full body stretch. And then rolling on to your favorite side. Taking this last moment to pause here in your practice. Maybe making an honor to yourself that you're going to carry this with you throughout the day. Whatever comes, return to breathing before reacting. Slightly pushing yourself up into a seated posture where we'll meet. Taking your time to arrive, hands at heart center. We'll breathe together one final time. Again, as this amazing full-time family that we're in this together, we all have each other's back. Inhale, filling up the belly, the lungs, the chest, all the way to the top. Taking in one sip more, holding it, savoring it. Exhale, bowing into your perfectly imperfect self. May you go in peace and keep that light with you all through the day. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions or any feedback or anything at all, feel free to reach out to me. But otherwise, have a fantastic day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.